it's Demo Donna, and in this quick video, I'm going to show you 5 different techniques. I am using Gilding flakes. I'm using color burst to do a background as well as watercolor. We're going to be doing some stamping, some really fun layering. Thank you so much for watching us create this fabulous card. Enjoy! All right, so I am using this media mat, and I do have the link for this mat. I love this. It's very easy cleanup and great for mixed media. To get started, I am using I just cut out a couple sheets of a cardstock. I'm going to take a little mister, and I am just misting up my craft mat. Now, I am using some color bursts. These are awesome ways to create really fun background colors. Again, the links for the colors that I'm using today are in the description, so check that out if you like the final product here. And I'm just tapping with my finger. If you squeeze them, you're gonna get a poof of color, and they kind of vary from container to container. So I do a little tap, 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 which makes it a little bit more manageable to get the color out. I'm gonna add a little bit more water. Now I'm gonna use the Terre Verte, and I am just gonna apply a little bit. This is a very bold color. All right, there we are. Now, the hard part. You're gonna take this and just squish it right in there. It's just that simple. Of course you can use watercolor paper. Of course you can put gloves on so your fingers do not get stained. But that is gonna be my background. I'm gonna set it right there. I'm gonna take another piece of paper, do a little bit more misting, maybe just add a little bit of the yellow because I've got some really dark colors in there, and pick that up. Okay, I have taken my heat gun and helped speed up the drying time. As you can see, all of your background pages are gonna be a little bit different. Mixed media is cool like that. You get very unique, one-of-a-kind cards. I am gonna take my beautiful background here and the mat. All I did was spray it with water, take a paper towel, and wipe it right up. So super easy cleanup with your mixed media products. I am using a very old, very retired stamp set, and it's got some great fall leaves on it. I did attach a link to a stamp set that I found, clear stamps, which I love, and those are available and very, very similar to these guys that I'm using. I'm taking my VersaMark pad here, and I'm gonna start with one of my stamps. I'm gonna go in the middle. Okay, now that I am done inking up my leaves, I am gonna take my coffee filter, and I'm using some gold embossing powder, and just sprinkle that over your stamped images. There we go. Tap that off, and then we are gonna heat set. All right, once you have finished, if you decide you want to pop in a couple more leaves, which I think I want to fill this up a little bit more, you can go in and add your leaves. So I am going to take my third leaf design. There is a lot more variety of leaves with the stamp set that I shared the link with. So definitely check that out if you do not have fall leaves in your stamp collection. I have completed my 4 unique one-of-a-kind background papers for my card. And the next thing I'm gonna do is trim a half an inch off of each side. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take this down to 5 inches. And then I am going to do this side down to 3 3/4. And the reason I create my background and do my stamping and then trim is because then I could choose what edge I like best and what I want to trim off. So go ahead and trim all of these down to 5 and 3 1/4 so you can layer your cards on an A2 card base. And we're going to create another fun little background on our actual card base as well next. Now that my cards are all trimmed down, I have 2 little dishes here with just a little bit of water, and I am going to take my yellow that we used for creating our background, the yellow orch, and the burnt orange, and I am squeezing a little bit in there, a little bit of that color to create some watercolors. And now what I'm going to do is basically go and pop all of my leaves. So I'm going to start by filling them all in with the yellow, and then I'm going to come into the edges with the orange. So I will go through one of them, and then I will quickly finish this up. And as you can see, I am not being very gentle with my watercoloring here. So don't worry if you've never watercolored before or you don't have an overly steady hand. This scribble kindergarten technique, anybody can do it. Okay, I have gone ahead and colored the inside of all of my leaves with the yellow. So it doesn't really pop yet, but you can see all of them have the same center of the leaves. Next, I'm going to go around all the edging with my orange. And I am just going to go and just do a little orange blending around the edges. And if it gets too dark somewhere, you can always tap in with your yellow. Again, you do not need to be a watercolor professional. Because we did the background with these same colors, even if you go out of the lines, it's going to look cool. If you like it without doing this, then just skip this step. It's the best part about making your own cards. You can decide to skip this technique altogether. All right, I'm going to repeat that with my other 4 background papers, and then we are going to move on to the next fun technique. All right, so the 2 scenes that I have chosen for our 4 cards are So Grateful for You and Thank You So Very Much. And I am using the Endless Shaker Kit by Queen & Company. That is where I got the dies as well as the stamps. So I'm going to go ahead and take my VersaFine Pine Cone, a beautiful rich brown, and I'm going to ink my stamps. This is a big seine, so give it a lot of ink. You can use your little stamp positioner if you need that too. Because it's a clear stamp, I just go ahead and die cut it first, and then I hover over the top and come down right on top of it. If it's easier, you can have a darker sheet of paper so you could see, and there we go. My stamp seine is done. For this next technique, I've gone ahead and cut out a 2.5 by 8.5 strip of the craft cardstock, and I'm going to take a roll of double-sided 2-inch adhesive tape, and I've got the link to this tape right there in the description. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this down. This doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to be cutting this out, but I just wanted a nice big strip, and trim that off. There we go. Okay, and then I'm just going to go ahead and make sure that that is completely adhered to my piece of cardstock. Next, I'm going to take my 4 fall leaf dies, and these are also from Queen & Company, the Fall Leaf Foundation set, and I'm going to run that through my die cut machine. Okay, I've got my 4 leaves on my plates, my die cut plates, Make sure when you're doing multiple dyes that none of them are overlapping, that you sandwich that in and hold down the pressure. Roll it through once, and because it's thick, I'm gonna roll it back. All right, now I'm gonna take my craft pick and just simply pick off the backing. Really cool, you can add glitter to these. You can add embossing powder to these. You can add a chunkier glitter. I am gonna do some gilding flakes. So the gilding flakes I couldn't find a link for, so I will put a link to another brand that you could try out, or if you have some at home, give it a whirl. Okay, I'm gonna take my 4 leaves and I'm setting them in my tray. You can use the lid of a shoebox. Just make sure you don't have the ceiling fan on, because these are very light. As you can see, they're kind of moving around already. I'm gonna take my finger tools. I'm gonna just grab my gold flakes and I'm gonna hold down with one finger and apply with the other one. So I'm just taking a nice chunk there. Once you have all the adhesive covered up, and you can just basically go around and feel your leaves to see if there's any exposed adhesive left. So now I'm going to grab my coffee filter. I'm going to take each leaf at a time and just grab a stiff bristle brush. I am using my blending brush. I have a couple of these and I like them. And I'm also holding the bristles. And this is just wiping away any loose pieces that are stuck. And I do a nice circular motion and wipe them away. Okay, my beautiful gold leaves, my gilding flakes are all done. They're beautiful and shiny. They're gonna be a great added on embellishment to my final product, to my card. And since I still have my gilding flakes out, I am gonna show you guys one final cool technique. I'm gonna be using my medium Nuvo pen, the glue pen. You can also use the large one. You can also use a tacky glue. I love these pens. Again, the link is in the description. This is a brand new one. I'm gonna show you how easy it is to activate. I'm just simply taking some scrap paper here, and you're just gonna go ahead and pounce your pen. So it's white at first. I'm gonna go ahead and pounce it, and that is getting the adhesive out of the pen. You can see now it's a light blue. Yours might take a little while. I did a couple extra pouncing before I started the video. So I am now going to take my beautiful paper here, and I am just gonna do some very random, some straight lines. And I've got a scrap piece of paper on my desk here because this tacky adhesive is very tacky and I don't want to get it all over my desk. So do that to all 4 of your cards, and you want it to go from that milky wet color to a clear, and that's how you know it is ready to apply your gilding flakes. Again, you can also use glitter with this as well. I would use a finer glitter since it's not a thick adhesive. You don't want your glitter to fall off. I'm going to take my tray again, gently bring it on over, and I'm going to use my finger tools, and I am just going to rub those gilding flakes on all 4 edges where I've applied my adhesive. Same technique, I'm going to pull over my coffee filter, take my brush, and just do a circular motion to take all the extra loose pieces off, and repeat around all 4 edges. After I cut out my background pieces in this teal blue color, I felt it looked a little too clean for my mixed media background layout. So I am gonna simply squirt a little water on my craft mat, add some more of the yellow, just the yellow with this. The yellow color burst, a little bit more water, and just go and pick up some of that. And then I also cut out a little background leaf to layer on top of behind the gold. So I'm going to do the same thing. Just pick up some of this color. So it's not so clean and pretty. It still all continues to have that same mixed media look and feel. Okay, the fun continues. I'm also going to dip in my thank you so very much and so grateful for you. So just added a little extra water, a little bit more. You guys are gonna see. If you have these at home and you haven't used them in a while, you're gonna pull them out and you're gonna be like, oh gosh, she was right, because these are a lot of fun. Okay, look at all of the exciting things that we have created in this video. The awesome background. All right, let's assemble. I'm gonna take some craft glue, and now I'm gonna layer this down and just apply some pressure. I'm then gonna take my 2 leaves and I am going to simply layer those together. So we're gonna add that guy. Then I'm gonna take my thank you. Here we go. And to finish my card off, I'm just gonna add a little bit of bling. I'm gonna add some champagne and brown rhinestones to my card. Now that you've watched the completed video on how to make these fabulous cards, if you would like to purchase the finished product, just go to the link in the description below and they are all yours. Leave your comments below and thanks for watching.